Wow, we are at the end of 2013 and it has been a wild year. I have, yeah, it's been really interesting. I just recently discovered some old footage that I didn't do anything with. As many of you know, I divorced the love of my life in 2012, and the marriage was supposed to last, and it didn't. And it left me feeling a lot of different ways about life, about love, about prayer. And it was just a very interesting journey. And so here at the end of 2013, I wanted to share this video footage with you because I wanted you to see, I guess, the work that time does, that there's a healing element that time handles. And also, just very intimate contact with God, whom I call Abba. I know Abba very well as a result of all of these maddening things that have happened. But God is faithful forever. And so I just wanted to share this with you. And so many of us are struggling in the love department, but just know that despite all that's going on, our Father intends good for us. So hang tight. Let me share this with you.
My happily ever after began on a island in Mexico 13 years ago, and the fairy tale ends across the street in that building there, Superior Court number 13. People have been asking me all day, and actually for the past few days, as the inevitable drew near, how was I feeling? And I mean, I don't know. This was not what I wrote in the script. But this is what I got. So, trying to make the most of it. Not so much trying to have a happy spin, but and definitely try not to be so depressed that I jump out the fucking window. I ain't trying to have that legacy either. But honesty that's where I am. I'm angry that I gave everything because I thought that it would last, and it didn't. And so now some strangers across the street for a fee are going to try to negotiate or navigate the madness, and I don't know. So I am trusting that this too shall pass, and that it's going to work out for both of our goods. It was really bad, but somehow I believe that God is going to work good out of this bad, and God be glorified. Okay, I am getting ready to go to court. About 20 minutes from the time of the hearing, like less than half a mile from the court, and I slept well. And today was the first day that I didn't cry. I've been purging, it seems like, a lot in the past 5 to 7 days, but for whatever reason, today was not one of those days that I felt like purging. Today was one of those days that I definitely felt strong. And even when I went to the scriptures and I went to prayer, which were normally almost catalysts for just this well of, of emotions, coming out, that didn't happen this morning. And so I believe that it is a precursor to the prayers of the saints and God hearing and answering for my strength, for my protection, that God indeed has gone ahead of me, and ultimately God's will be done. So I'll see you in a couple of hours. And it was a great conversation. Lots of tears, lots of honest sharing. And I I told him I just felt restored, you know. There was a sense of communication and just openness and dialogue and staying with the fight that never happened in our marriage. And it is emotionally abusive. And so that's what I had suffered this entire time. And so it was good that we were able to place a period at the end of our marriage with this sense of restoration of like, okay, this is what it should have been like, and had it been this way the whole time, then, you know, we would definitely still be together. But dignity was restored in that conversation, and I think that that's what's missing when you put an attorney and a judge and a courtroom and laws and assets and this is fair and this is equitable, and, you know, just this whole, and even just the spirit of the other players, they were just not vested at all. And that became very, very clear. It's like, is the story of humanity about laws and assets, or is it about people and resources? And on what side of that equation, you know, when you were having to stand before God, do you want to fall on? Well, I implemented the law and it says this, or, you know, do you want to err on the side of humanity and graciousness and love and mercy with people? Yeah, so they became minor characters who were really, you know, pretty disruptive. But when we were able to come together, there was a sense of the restoring of both of our dignity. He apologized, I apologized, we both cried, we prayed. And then we talked about some of our happier memories. For him, it was our wedding in Cozumel, Mexico. It was at my first book release party. It was the way when he was discouraged, I would be his cheerleader. Even when he didn't want to cheerlead, he just kind of wanted to mope, and I wouldn't allow that. Of course, I remember being frustrated by having to play somebody's cheerleader who wants to mope, but, you know, that's beside the point. So those were good memories for him. Good memories for me were when our goddaughter was 4, and he told her, hey, I need to borrow somebody's finger. And she's like, here, use mine. And he takes a finger and puts it up his nose. And ever since then, he's been Booger Man. Yeah, just the way that I knew that he was a good guy. And it was killing me to think that I had been duped. And today, it was refreshing. And it was a gift of God. It was totally God that I was able to see that he is a good guy. And there's greater understanding between the two of us, and even a commitment to be friends and to be available to each other, and just recognizing the God in him and his recognizing the God in me, and both of us seeing that, you know, our life has purpose, our life has meaning. And even in this very painful place where we've been and where we're coming out of, and having to go into the new painful place, I guess, of just embracing the rest of our lives without each other, you know, as husband and wife, there is still that sense of dignity. And I am committed to honoring the divine in everyone, because I feel really, really good right now. And the mystery of how all of this happened, you know, it's all in God's hands. How often I prayed for restoration. I thought it would be different, but restoration did come. And I told Lewis that, you know, hey, the way you ended this with this conversation, like, this is you leading. You know, this is what leadership looks like. You know, this is the hard conversation. This is, you know, possibly looking like the bad guy or whatever, but you know, you stand there, you stay in it, you see it all the way through. And that's what I got today. So it is finished.
Wow. Happy New Year. I pray that for you and for me, the boundaries fall for us in pleasant places, and that we will indeed enjoy our inheritance. Blessings.